Okay, just sorry, we're just testing this first because I want to make sure that you can hear me. And let's see if we can get this volume because I don't have any issues like Laz did last time. There we go. All right, great. So we're starting 1 or 2 minutes early because I wanted to make sure that we got everything in. And it has been quite the day. I know you moms have had days similar to today. You want to shoot yourself. But we're here, ready to go. And I'm going to introduce myself and introduce the show. My name is Laura Wellington. And you've come to the four-star family recipes based off the book, The 4-Star Diet, which I wrote and released in February of 2013. And the show has been doing extremely well, so I really appreciate that and getting a lot of media attention, so thanks for that as well. I owe that to you moms for talking me up. And today's show is a great show. Like I said, I'm going to go over some of the things that happened to me over the last week, which is just incredible. And you're going to relate to a lot of them, moms, because I know you can. This show is based around community. Community is obviously very important to all of us. We all live in one. And consequently, making our communities better and stronger is important to all of us. I'll talk to you a little bit about my community. I want to back up a little bit to some of the things that, some of the questions that you had from last show, and I'll answer some of those as well. And I know the big one is how's that dating going with me, which is funny, I'll tell you. Seems like those websites really do work. All right, so here we go. Community. The community I actually live in is called, I actually live in a number of communities because I have a number of homes, but the one I primarily relate to is my Old Saybrook home, which is Old Saybrook, Connecticut. It's a great community. And in fact, great book came out of this community, and rightfully so, because there have been so many amazing women that have lived in this community and so many amazing people and families that are living in this community and have founded this community. But this book, let me get on full screen. Let's start that. Okay, all right. This book I'm reading right now, I came from a great old bookstore in town, and they recycle books. So you can hand in a book, and they'll give you a great discount on your next book. And so it's called Harbor Books. And I think it's a great bookstore because it has so many interesting books from old and new. But this book that I'm going to show you is a new book. It's called Remarkable Women of Old Saybrook. Do you see that? Let's see if I can get close. Let me see it. Okay, here you go. Remarkable Women of Old Saybrook, written by Ted Levy, who actually writes for Shoreline Times, which is the local paper in town, actually along the shoreline. And it's extremely well written. But what I love about it is it explains the lives of so many women that actually lived in this community, Old Saybrook. One of the most noted ones is Katharine Hepburn. Her family settled here in the Fenwick area of Old Saybrook. And, you know, what's interesting enough is we all know about Katharine Hepburn and her very gregarious, very direct, and unlovable way about her. And I just adored her as much as the rest of her fans did. But what I didn't know is Katharine Hepburn's mom was very much like Katharine Hepburn. And she was a suffragette, and she fought for women's rights. And apparently a lot of what Katharine had in her own character came from her mom. So these are the things you learn about your community if you do a little research on it. And there are just so many incredible women. The first African-American pharmacist in the country came from Old Saybrook. Very, very interesting. Women who started schools, colleges, women who would travel with their husbands to foreign lands, and we're right there next to them. Really just interesting women. So I love this book. I'm enjoying reading it. Ted, thank you for writing it. I think it's a nice way of getting to know your community, and if you can find a book similar to that about your own community, I suggest you do, because it's so much fun to learn. It's interesting because one of my best friends is actually a gentleman by the name of Wendell Maynard. He stood in many times for my late husband with my children when obviously my children needed a male figure and role model. And Wendell's family, the Maynard family, actually one of the founding families of Saybrook. And it's interesting because he's such a gentleman, and everywhere I turn, I see the Maynard name. It's really pretty cool. And well deserved. They really put a lot into this community, and he's a great man. All right, so I'll talk more about community later on. There are a couple other people I'd like to mention. I definitely, I never even set my alarm. See, I'm already off. Let me see what time it is. Okay, it's only 3 o'clock, so we have a lot of extra time. So let me just set my alarm. So funny. Is this crazy? I use an egg timer. The old-fashioned way, right? Talking about old-fashioned communities. Okay. All right, so let's go. I'm going to use my cheat sheet, so if I'm looking down, just realize that's what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I decided to take some vacations over the next few weeks, day trips with my kids. And last week I actually took them to Roger Williams Zoo in Rhode Island and the planetarium there. Which was a lot of fun. I'll show you. Oh, this is the cutest thing. Wait till you see this. Hang on. Let me get my playlist going. Okay. Roger Williams Zoo is about, I would say, 40 minutes from me. And look at that beautiful little elephant. They say elephants never forget. Interesting, right? They look so soft around the face, right? And my grandmother gave me the cutest little elephant figurine when I was little, and how I learned that elephants never forgot was from that figurine, because it said, "I'll never forget you." Isn't that cute? So Roger Williams Zoo is a really great find. It's not the Bronx Zoo, but it's certainly a fantastic zoo, and they have everything. Giraffes. The only thing they don't have are big cats, which are fine with me. But they do have the giraffes, and they do have the bison, and they do have a number of different displays that are just gorgeous. And it's a doable zoo for young kids too. They have a great water park. You can do it in half a day. So it's a nice break to get away and have some lunch and just have an outing with your little one. So I would recommend it, and it's very inexpensive. So it's great on all angles. So they also have a museum and a planetarium next to it, and that's also wonderful. Certainly, again, enough for a day out with your child. A few hours to get yourself out of the house, or just spend some quality time with your kids. It's really just fun. It's a fun day. I was crunched for time because we're working on, my partners and I are working on this show going over to our larger network because you guys have given me such a great response. We're now speaking with some other people to bring the show on. So I was last minute called to do a few things for my partner. So I had to crunch 2 days into one. So I went over to Newport. And if you've ever been to Newport, guys, you know that Newport is the home of some very, very wealthy older families. The gold barons, the liquor barons, any type of baron you want probably owns a home in Newport. And some of them are beautiful. Vanderbilts have several homes in Newport. Museums, you can go visit them. You can go inside and you can go in and take a look around. It's fantastic. It's just gorgeous. It's a great place to get some seafood. It's a great place to view the sights. It's a very, very busy vacation spot, and you wonder why. But I'll have to show you the Breakers. The Breakers is the home, or was the former home of the Vanderbilts. And this will give you an idea of what Newport looks like. So hang on, I'm going to switch pictures. Isn't that beautiful? That's a home. It's not even a hotel. It's a home. And that's just one of the many homes that are there that you can view. I would suggest trying to go there because it is magnificent. You see, I know we don't have the royals in our own country, but these people are as close to royal as you can get. And you'll be awed by what they were living in at the times, especially at the times they were living. So that's really fun. And then we went over to, my kids and I always take a trip to Block Island. I have been to Block Island ever since I had met their father. I had spent time on Block Island because we had a sailboat. And oh my God, there's a place on Block Island called Ballard's. And Ballard's is a big dancing hall. It's a big, I don't know, you go there and you just celebrate life. And my kids are celebrating here. It's probably the one and only time each year they get lobster. That they love it. I'm not a big lobster fan myself, but they do. So they were eating it. And that's Emma on the right and Izzy on the left. And they were enjoying themselves. I had 3 others. One's still at college doing his research project. And one was working at a camp. And the other one's, you can't see, but he's on the other side. He's having chicken fingers. So, so that was a fun day, too. Block Island's always a nice adventure. And again, you can do it in a day. You take the ferry out of New London, if you're in Connecticut, and you go right over there, and it takes about an hour. The seas were rough, though. And, I have to show you something. So my girls and I are on the ferry, my son. We're watching the news while we're crossing, doing a little work. And I look up, and I have to show you this picture. Now, hopefully you can see it, but if not, I'm going to read it to you anyway. Talk about a faux pas like you never believed from Fox News. I'm sorry, guys. Fox, you're smarter than this. Boys and gals, come on. You should do better than this. So we're talking about Anthony Weiner. Now, we know Anthony Weiner has had his mishaps along the way, self-induced. What can I say? One of those moms should have slapped him silly at some point in his growing up years, I guess. I don't know what to say about him. But anyway, so I look up from my work, and my kids are laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? And here we go. Fox News, right? National news, guys, right? Pressure building on Weiner. I'm sorry. Don't you think they could have phrased that a little bit better? We know the pressure's building on Weiner. It always is. That's his problem. Someone needs to teach the man how to release the pressure in another way than having an affair. Okay? He can get lessons from many men. I am sure he needs to open up his mouth and speak to one. Anyway, I'm sure Media Bistro would have a field day with this. All right. So, you know what, Anthony, you may want to take a look at this and see what's going on, what people are saying. But, man, Fox, come on. I've done things with you guys. Do a little better, please. Pressure building on Weiner. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go back on full screen, and we're going to talk about some other things. Holy smokes, you guys. All right, let's go back. Talk about some of the things that happened this week. So, alrighty. I don't know who did it, but I'm telling you, I'm a little bit upset. So, somebody hit my car. Hit and run. Yeah, hit and run. Side of the door. I was shocked. Shocked beyond belief. I think it's really rude that someone would hit and run you and not leave a note. And again, I go back to, well, who taught you? Because if it was my kids, he'd be leaving a note. But this person did it, and so hit and run, and cost me $600 to fix because of someone else's mistake. And that's really sad because you know what the reality is, even if you don't have the $600, if you had the $600, some people don't, you know? And I think it's really rude for people to hit and run people and not own up to the responsibility. What are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching our people that they're growing up to do this? So I don't know what to say about that past that. But I know you moms know what it's like to have to come out because it's obviously happened to more than just me, and see that, and just your heart sinks because you know that there's nothing you can do. You can't call the insurance company because it's not enough money to declare. So you have to take it out of your pocket, and it's just really an unfortunate case. So all I can say, the only thing that we can do here, moms, is teach your kids better. That's the best we can do because you can't rectify what's already done. I mean, other than just paying for it yourself. Obviously, it's coming out of my pocket, but you can try to change the future. So let's try to do that. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Okay. Then my dryer stops. This is the house of fix-it right now. This is the house of fix-it, let me tell you. There's so many projects that need to get done. I told you I moved into this new house and it needs new things, but of course, every time you turn around the corner, something else, as you just fix one thing, something else happens. So I guess that's the name of the game. It's not just happening to me, I understand it, but I do know where you're coming from. So the dryer stopped, but then it decided to go back on. But then my washer decided to drop dead. So I think they were tag teaming it. I don't know. But, yeah, that's terrible, right? So now I don't know what I'm doing with the washer. I'm going to have to get a repairman in. Okay, so that was happening. So the dating websites, I think they do work. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're working for me. I don't know. But I met some really nice people. And I'm going to leave it at that. One special person. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed. You know, it's a nice reminder that they are true gentlemen in this world and interesting people. And you know, moms, some of your moms did some fantastic job. This guy just sort of stands apart. So I'll tell you how it goes. But isn't that fun? I never expected it, but it's fun. So, all right, that's all I'm going to say. All right. What else? Oh, I love this. This didn't happen to me, but I just loved it. I came across it. I loved it. So a woman out in, I think it was Idaho, was breastfeeding her baby while having some pizza with her family for her birthday. She hadn't been in town for a while because she felt very concerned about breastfeeding her baby in public. So she went to this restaurant. They were having a birthday celebration in her honor. And her baby became hungry, and so she breastfed the baby with a cloth over her. When the husband went to go pay the check, there was a note on his check that was returned to him. He only had to pay for half the check. Why? Because the waitress who had been serving the family paid for the other half of the check. And the reason she did that, the note explained, was she was so proud of the woman for breastfeeding. Beautiful story. Beautiful story. All I can say is bravo to both of them. Bravo. I think it's fantastic that there's such kindness in the world and such understanding and such intelligence and on both these women's parts. So thanks for that. That's a nice story to share. And of course, the royal baby. I blogged about it for the Huffington Post. Oh my gosh. Congratulations to the royal family. And Prince George, welcome. Really fantastic. Really just wonderful. Beautiful baby. Beginning of hope for the nation. Not to mention the parents. And one of the women I do adore is Kate Middleton. You know, she has handled her emergence into the royal family and into England with a tremendous grace and class. And I'm sure this child is blessed in having her as a mom. And of course, the Duke of Cambridge, equally so. And I am sure that if the Duke's mom could look down, she's looking down, I'm sure she's quite proud too. So, alrighty then. So the recipe this week, I think I'm going to skip a little bit more of the community right now because I got to dive into the recipe and we'll sort of circle back if we have more time to do community. But the recipe this week is an orange almond cake. One of the reasons I chose this was during the summer, when I spend so much time in Old Saybrook, I actually make this cake for a lot of the families that are neighbors of mine. It's a great, easy cake to make for the morning. A lot of times before I jump on the treadmill, I'll make it. I'll toss it in the oven, and by the time I'm off the treadmill, it's done. So, and I'll slice some up. I'll give some to my kids, and I'll give some to my neighbors. Two of my favorite neighbors, Pat and Dick Foster. Pat's an incredible lady on her own right. Used to own an art gallery, has had a marriage for many years to Dick, and they are one of my most favorite couples. I admire them greatly, and they're funny as all heck. And Judy and Barry Goldfarb, great people as well. I just adore these two families, so it's a lot of fun to have them share in this cake, and it's just nice to be nice. So okay, so I'm going to make this cake for you. Very simple, very simple, very simple. Simple is the name of the game, right? So we're gonna make this cake now. I'm gonna try to move this over. I've got some quick tips later on that I want to go over with you, so I don't want to lose too much time. So these tips are too great to overlook, and I don't want to go too much over my time because I keep doing that. That's not fun. So let me go back on screen, and I'm going to adjust this orange almond cake, and the recipe's on my website. So it's www.the4stardiet.com. So hang on. Let me see where we're at here as far as picture goes. Okay, I'm going to show you the bowl. Again, I'm going to work down past my breast. We're going to do this. Okay, of course, you know I don't use cups and things. So I'm going to tell you what it is, and then you go to the website and you can read off what the cups are. Okay, so here we go, guys. Okay, I am going to put in, it's approximately 2 cups of flour. Okay, coming out, 2 cups of flour. Okay, there we go. That's 2 cups. Okay. I'm going to put in a cup of sugar. This is not a cup. This is only half a cup, so I got to get the other bag. Just a little bit more. Okay, that's enough. Okay, I have got vegetable shortening, Crisco, but it's the buttered kind. I like this. I never use a lot of butter or shortening. I think it makes things worse. It's definitely unhealthy. This is about a 1/4 cup of shortening, not even, maybe a little bit even less than that, I would say. I've got almond extract and orange extract. Okay, I'm going to put a teaspoon of each in. I like extract. Now listen, you can at times use liquor for in a replacement of your extracts, only in an emergency. I'm not a big liquor person, especially you don't really want to have it in things you make with kids. I know it burns off, but I don't know. I'm one of those people. I like to be extra cautious. Okay. I'm putting in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Don't ever overuse baking soda. It'll give a biting taste if you do. That I don't like. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of baking powder. If you want to overuse baking powder, that's better than baking soda. Okay, hang on. I'm going to get 2 ingredients that I left in the fridge. I know Emerald wouldn't have done that, but one of those things, right? I don't like to leave my ingredients out. So, okay. I'm going to crack 2 eggs. 1. Throw it in the sink. 2. Throw it in the sink. Okay. This is orange juice. This is about 2 cups. Should be good. Okay. Now I'm leaving it out, but it's only going to be out for a little bit. So I'm putting, okay, putting your bowl in the mixer, and I'm mixing it. And while I'm mixing it, let me show you. I got this. It's a loaf pan. Okay, I don't know why I look green like that, but okay. I'm just going to spray the loaf pan. Okay, with vegetable oil. And you'll see, guys, it's great value. Great value is Walmart's brand. Works like a charm. As I said, don't go expensive if you don't need to. Save that money for car repairs. God knows you're going to need it. All right, and this looks good. How easy is this? Okay. Putting it right in there, guys. Easy, right? I can bring it around here, make it easier. It's like cooking backwards. You can add a little salt. I always put it in my recipes on mine. Frankly, though, I like cooking without salt if possible. I used to cook for my late husband's grandfather, and he couldn't have salt. So I stopped cooking with salt because of it, but a lot of it you don't need anyway. That was granola. I just got some granola. Just look again. And there you go. So it decorates it, and it gives it like just gives it a great look. I don't want to mush it up, but anyway, that's it. So this is it. So this is going to go in the oven at 375 for about an hour. It could go an hour and a half depending upon your oven. So just keep an eye on it. Obviously when it's firm to the touch, take it out. You'll smell it too. Once it starts smelling really great, golden. Alrighty, so that is orange almond cake, and I'm telling you, it is one of the best breakfast cakes. And hold on a second. You're ever going to have, and it's easy. You know, as long as you have orange juice, a little flour, sugar, eggs. We usually all have that in our fridge, right? That's the name of this show. That's why we're doing this. That's why we call this show 4-Star Family Recipes. We're using recipes that are very easy and most of us have in the fridge. Obviously, I didn't feature a mom today. The reason why I didn't is I want to sort of throw in some of my own recipes into the mix. Next week we will. Not next week, 2 weeks from now we will. But I do want to add to some of the recipes that I'm doing from my own menu because I think it's only fair, and I have some great recipes to share. I've been cooking for a long time, folks. So, all right. So let's go over some things. Oh, I want to share a couple things. So let me get going. So talking about community, I'm going to go to a great YouTube video. One of my favorite singers, the country singer Rodney Atkins. He has some of the best songs about family, faith, fun, community, kids. So I'm going to let you listen to one of my favorites. It's about his community. And I think you're going to see a lot of who this man is in this song. And if you get a chance to start following him and listening to songs, to him.
like his old man. We were football monkeys, southern rock junkies, cranking up the stereo, singing loud and proud to give me three-step, simple man, and Curtis Low. We were good, you know. Got some discount knowledge at the junior college where we majored in beer and girls. It was all funny till we ran out of money and they threw us out into the world. Yeah, the kids that thought they'd run this town ain't learning much of anything. Just loving and laughing and busting their asses, and we call it all living. These are my people. This is where I come from. We're keeping this life, everything we got, and then some. It ain't always pretty.
It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way.
It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. These are my people.
Well, we take it all week on the chin with a grin till we make it to a Friday night. And it's church league softball, holler about a bad call, preacher breaking up a fight.
Holler about a bad call, preacher breaking up a fight.
Everybody's got his friend, and the birds are pouring till everybody's got his friend. We started all over again. These are my people. This is where I come from.
These are my people. This is where I come from.
And then some.
We're giving this life everything we got, and then some.
But it's real.
It ain't always pretty.
It's the way we were made,
But
wouldn't
it's
have it any
real.
other way. These are my
It's the way we
people.
were made, wouldn't have it any
We
other
all
way.
down.
These are my people.
We get up.
We all down.
We walk
We
around.
get up.
We talk tough.
We walk
We
around.
got
And
heart.
we talk tough.
We got nerve.
We got heart.
Even if
We
we
got
are a bit
nerve.
distant.
And even if we are a bit distant,
Come on.
come on.
These are my people. This is where I come from.
These are my people. This is where I come from.
God and them some.
We're giving this life everything we got, and then some. It ain't always pretty.
It's the way we
But
were made,
it's
wouldn't
real.
have it any other way. Oh, no.
It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. Oh no. These are my people. Yeah.
Those are his people, guys. We all have our people, right? My people are obviously, I already mentioned to you, Wendell Maynard, Pat and Dick Foster, Judy and Barry Goldfarb. Oh my gosh, who else? I'll read them off. Dean Russo, who saved my butt a number of times. He was my plumber and my electrician, and the constantly the man of the hour. Also a very, very dear friend. He knows to do everything, knows how to do everything. John Giordano, 15-year friend. Boy, carried me through some of the rough times. Mr. John. Jocelyn Maminta, very great friend. Sweet girl. Anchor for WTNH. Debbie Romano. Jeez, can't even tell you. Blake Rushdie. I don't know, Deborah K. Levi, who is just really just became a great friend because she cornered me at a coffee shop, did an interview, ferried her way into my life, and now she's indispensable. So that's my community. Keith Campbell. Keith, crazy man you, but all good people. That's my community. Community, is... it's one of the things that makes our lives very special if you have a great community around you. And it may not live next door. Your community is wherever you make it to be. And so just keep that in mind. Just like family. Family is whoever you make it to be. So is your community. So they make life, getting through life easier and happier. And alrighty, let's talk about some home remedies before I have to go, and I only have a couple minutes. So, home remedies. my daughter was going through some things lately, and we were talking about home remedies and some of the things that would work instead of some of the, see how fast I can talk? My father used to want to take me and play me back. That's how fast I talked as a child. But gift of gab, right? So here are some of the things that we came across as far as home remedies, some that I've thrown in. Vaseline. Vaseline is good for so many things. Vaseline is the cheapest, best product you can have in the house. You can use it to get a stuck ring off. You can use it to take your makeup off. You can use it for your feet if they get rough. You can use it to keep stretch marks away if you're pregnant. Oh my gosh, there's so many things you can use it for. It's incredible. So Vaseline is my gift to you. Get Vaseline, keep it in the house. It is really incredible, especially around during the summer when your skin gets rough. Use it for that. Honey on a blemish. Apparently, if you put honey on your blemish when you go to sleep, and look, we all get them. They're not fun, especially at this age. But at certain times of the month we get them. And so if you put honey on a blemish, apparently by the morning it will go away. I don't know. I have never used it because actually what I've done and what I found to be the best is not even rubbing alcohol. It's nail polish remover. You put it on a blemish, it will go away by morning. That and look, my big fat Greek wedding, they used Windex. I don't know. I think it's nail polish remover. That works for me. Gatorade for headaches. Instead of taking acetaminophen or Tylenol, drink 2 cups of Gatorade when you have a headache, and apparently it'll go away like a charm. Dawn dishwashing liquid kills fleas on your dog. So if your dog has fleas, get the dog outside, scrub them down with Dawn dishwashing liquid. It's the cheapest way to get rid of fleas. And if your dog comes back in and he's wet, take a dryer sheet and rub it all over him. Because apparently it makes him smell fresh and clean, as if he didn't, if you just gave him a bath. So I think that's a brilliant one. Here we go. I'm running out of time again. That's me. A few more things. Okay. Cure urinary tract infections. This is a find, and they don't advertise this, but apparently it works, and everybody knows it works over there at the company. But they don't advertise it. Alka-Seltzer for urinary tract infections. It cures it. Take 2 Alka-Seltzer and a glass of water. Apparently your urinary tract infection will go away immediately. So within the next day. And this is one of my favorites. I have to show you this. Now, we all have those cases, right? Those old CD cases. Well, let me show you what people are using those CD cases for. Look at that. It's a bagel. He finally figured out the use of all those empty CD cases, right? Talk about genius. It is a genius. You know what? We all eat bagels. I love them. You don't have to be Jewish to just eat them. They're just great. Everything and anything you can put on a bagel, and it makes it that much more special. So, but this is perfect. I never even thought of that. But next time you want, I don't know how people at work would look at you if you came in with your bagel in a CD case. But hey, try it. Add levity to the day, right? All right. So those are some of the big hits. All right, I gotta go. They're knocking me off the screen again. Unfortunately, I do have to go. It's unfortunate because it is fun to be here, and I wish I could do it every week. As I said, I'm still sifting through the things you guys sent me. But listen, I'm gonna salute you. I salute the military. Thank you for keeping us safe, especially with everything going on in Russia right now. And the last few months have been difficult for you guys. So thank guys and gals, because I do respect you completely. Also, and moms, thank you for being moms. Let's keep on doing what we're doing. Let's continue to try to always do better. And you are the generals of your own little armies as moms. So keep it going. And if you can find some time to get to Newport or visit any museum or spend some time with your kids during the summer, because it's going to go quickly, and they're going to be back at school before you know it. We're going to be talking about school supplies, and all the school issues come soon. So get out there, enjoy the sun, enjoy your kids, go on vacation, and eat a little lobster. Okay? All right. Somehow, some way, get it into the budget, I guess. All right. I'll tell you how the car goes. And Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks at 3 o'clock on Thursdays. Bye.